Welcome to the 31st episode of the Nordic Sports News Podcast, the world's first daily cross-country ski and biathlon podcast with the latest news from around the globe. Today, we have news from the freezing Ruka cross-country skiing World Cup, the Östersund Biathlon World Cup, Idre IBU Cup and last but not least, the Gålå Norwegian Cup. At Ruka, extreme cold did not stop Bolsjunov and Johaug from returning to the top at the World Cup. In the freezing cold of Ruka, Alexander Bolsjunov and Therese Johaug were the strongest in the pursuit of the first leg of the 21-22 cross-country skiing World Cup. What a strange day. On this last Sunday in November, Ruka was hit by polar cold. The thermometer read temperatures around minus 20 degrees Celsius. Moreover, the organizers had to upset the program, hoping that the temperature improves a little over the hours. This is how the women's cross-country skiing pursuit was repeatedly postponed. The men's competition was held in the middle of the day. During this time, teams assessed the risk of competing in such conditions. Several skiers preferred to stay warm, like the French Jean-Marc Guyard. He was not the only one who did not take the start. In the list of non-starters we find all the Norwegians, but also Ivo Niskanen, first of the classic individual on Saturday. The Russians, surprised by these collective non-starters, took advantage of it. The image of Alexander Bolsjunov, which in this total confusion, nearly missed his start. The winner of the Big Globe last winter told Sports.ru, "It was incomprehensible. The organizers told us that the start was due in 3 minutes. But with such a cold, I couldn't stand still. So I continued to warm up to keep my muscles warm. Then I heard Alexei Chervotkin take the start. He was setting off 5 seconds before me. So I ran in my place, put on my skis, and set off quickly without my poles in hand. I was able to put them only on the first descent." Recovered from his emotions, Alexander Bolsjunov was then the strongest. At the finish, he beat Sergei Ueshchagov and Artem Maltsev. The Russians also made a good group shot, placing 6 athletes in the top 8. Our men were very successful. It's a shame that the Norwegians are not parties because our trio would have swallowed them alive, said Sergei Kryanin, member of the Russian Ski Federation for Match TV. In the women's race, Therese Johaug was the strongest today. Johaug wasted no time in securing her first World Cup victory of the winter. Starting 14 seconds after Frida Karlsson, winner of the individual on Saturday, the Norwegian built her race by taking over the 22-year-old Swede little by little. In the stadium, halfway through the race, she caught up and then passed her rival. She finally won this women's pursuit with a 7-second lead. Her compatriot Heidi Weng completed the podium. "I am very happy to be able to regain victory today," said Therese Johaug to NRK at the finish. "I might not have been in such good shape, but I'm very happy with my race. I'm disappointed that I couldn't keep in touch when she attacked. Therese was too strong," reacted Frida Karlsson. Next week, the cross-country skiers will meet in Lillehammer, with a skating sprint scheduled for Friday to start the World Cup weekend. At the Östersund Biathlon World Cup, Sebastian Samuelsson and Hanna Eberg impressed in today's races. This Sunday was definitely placed under the sign of revenge. A few hours after Hanna Eberg and Anaïs Chevalier in the women's sprint, it was the Swede Sebastian Samuelsson who had the icing on the cake. Only 40th in the opening individual on Saturday, with 6 misses on the shooting range, this time he had the perfect race in his backyard in Östersund. A 10 hits out of 10 also thrilled the Swiss Jean-Marc Chablos, Swedish shooting coach. On the cross-country ski track, the native of Katrineholm was also impressive by simply setting the best time of the day to win his second World Cup event. Behind, we find the Norwegians Vidal Sjostad Christensen, with clean shooting and 11 seconds back, and Johannes Thingsbo, also 10 hits but at 12 seconds. For the French team, this sprint without a podium is still a real success. Emilien Jacquelin ranked 4th, Simon Desthou 5th and Fabien Claude 6th. Above all, with the weekend's results and the Sunday failure of Sturla Holm Legriad, Simon Desthou will wear the yellow bib of the World Cup leader next Thursday. A first for the discreet biathlete who will share this happiness with Johannes Thingsbo, co-leader after 2 races. In the women's race, Hanna Eberg was superior today, with Anaïs Chevalier in second place and Marte Olsbu Roiselen completing the podium in the 3rd position. First, the French Justine Brazes, with her bib 1, shot 9 out of 10, then, with the 8, her elder Anaïs Chevalier, with an excellent and offensive 10 out of 10, took the lead. Finally, the Swedish Hanna Eberg, with clean shooting, who had also lived a nightmare the day before, passed in front to win, at home, the opening sprint of the winter. She also became the first Swede to win a sprint in Östersund since 1997 with the great Magdalena Forsberg. Then, in turn, Marte Olsbu Roiselen and Jara Alambakova failed to dislodge the French, second in the final standings ahead of the Norwegian. It feels good to pick up the 10 and have a pretty good ski time. I am satisfied with what I have done, she estimated in the mixed zone. I really set up what I wanted in shooting. Yesterday, I was too relaxed, I kicked my butt a little today. Among the disappointments, we also find the Norwegian Tyrell Eckhoff, with 7 hits out of 10. The queen of last winter is indeed having a complicated start to the season since she finished only 27th in this first sprint. All while remaining on 7 straight sprint victories, a format in which she was undefeated since December 18 in Le Grand Bornand. Now, let's check the Idre IBU Cup report. For the first pursuit this winter on the IBU circuit, Russian Vasily Tomshin pulled off the perfect race. Third in the sprint, Russian Vasily Tomshin pulled off the perfect race today to win solo. With clean shooting, 20 hits out of 20, he was ahead of Alexander Fjeld Andersen, who scuttled himself by missing 3 shots on his last stop. Another Alexander, Havarnitsen, completed the podium. Sixth of the day, Lucas Frotcher retains the overall lead ahead of Andersen and Tomshin. In the women's race and after a breathless pursuit, Franziska Hildebrand achieved the double. The 34-year-old German was scared on her third shot by missing twice and seeing Evgenia Bertasova, née Pavlova, return. But the Russian was a little lacking at the end, eventually finishing in second position, and could not counter the return of the German, who confided in the microphone of the IBU, "I am satisfied with my full prone shooting, then I had a little battle on my first standing. But I got it full on the last shot and I felt strong on the skis and I was able to come back on the last lap." In third place was the French Paula Botet, confirming her excellent start to the season with already a top 15, a top 10 and therefore this first podium in 3 races. And to wrap up our weekend, let's check Gålå Norwegian Cup results. Martin Løvstrøm Nyenget and Silja Theodorsen were the strongest this Sunday. Winner in skating last weekend in Biathlon, the young Norwegian Harald Isberg Amundsen this time lost 36 seconds to Martin Løvstrøm Nyenget in the classic race in Gålå, and finished in second place. Mattis Stenshagen completed the podium in third place. For the women, the gaps were smaller. Starting off at a slow pace, Silja Theodorsen was gradually catching up before taking the lead in the standings at halfway, never to let go. Silja Øreslind, consistent throughout the race, set the second fastest time at each of the intermediates as well as at the finish. She still conceded 12 seconds to the winner. Catherine Rolstad Harsum completed the podium. Although the Norwegian Ski Association has not yet commented on the athletes present in Lillehammer next weekend, Helene Marie Fossesum, Christine Stavas Skistad, Thomas Helland Larsen, and Diedrich Tonzeth, winners on Friday and Saturday, are expected to be one of them. And that's all for today, folks. Stay tuned and subscribe to our channels on YouTube, Spotify and Instagram. Just type Nordic Sports News on these platforms and access our content. Thank you so much and see you tomorrow in the next episode. Information credits to Nordic Mag, Sports.ru, Match TV and NRK.